Well, hello everyone, Anthony Sequeira here, and I'm all excited because I finally got my author copies of the Packet Tracer for CCNA text. Yeah, kind of neat to finally see the book that many of you already have and you've been working through the labs with. Great stuff. And if you've been following along with my lab reviews here on YouTube, you probably know that I got really beat up in Chapter 6. Yeah. Subnetting and getting all the addresses just right proved a little too much for me. I kind of redeemed myself in Chapter 7 where we did IPv6. That was a lot of tough work, but I've got great news for you. Here in Chapter 8, we are just covering the very basics of wireless, and that chapter in your textbook really reflects that, and so does our review lab. Let's jump in and take a look at it. Yeah, what we did with this review lab is, because it's the only lab in this very brief chapter, we do hold your hand in this lab step by step. Yeah, so what we're really doing here is getting you familiar with the wireless settings, just the basics. So notice we are asked to go to R1 and open its properties window. By the way, before I even do that, notice here how this R1 device has a wired connection up to switch 1, and notice how it currently has a wireless connection out to the laptop. Yeah, if we go out to this laptop and we go to the desktop and we go to the PC wireless, we can see that it does have a successful connection. And if we go to the profiles area, we can see there is a default profile that is in effect, and that's why this laptop does currently have Wi-Fi connectivity with the R1 device. And in fact, we're going to break that by following these instructions. We should see it break kind of as a verification. So let's go into R1 like they asked us to. And there we go. There's the R1 window. Let me resize this thing. No, I don't want to cancel. I just want to resize my window. Maybe it's struggling to be resized. Let's see. Can I resize it? Yeah, I can resize it. Great. Okay, so here we are at the R1 device, and we are told to go to the GUI tab. Yeah, look at that. This is the classic interface. I do mean classic. This is the old Linksys interface. And as you know, at some point, Cisco bought Linksys. So yeah, I still recognize this as kind of a Linksys GUI. I guess that's how old I am. All right, what do we need to do? We need to go to the wireless menu, and we can see the settings, the basic wireless settings for this device. And that's all we need to work with. For the network mode, we are told that we need to go to wireless G only. So this is a very common thing now these days. You have these wireless devices like this that can support old and new technologies or just newer technologies. And depending on the clients that you have, you're going to be setting the network mode appropriately. So it looks like in our environment, everybody's wireless G capable. And so we're going for 802.11g only when it comes to the network mode. Now, they want us to go in and create an SSID, otherwise known as a network name, of CCNA PT. So there we go. I set up CCNA PT, and it looks like someone did a little bit of a site survey because they want us going to channel 6 as the standard channel for this wireless G only infrastructure that we are creating. Now, they're going to have us do a slight security enhancement, yeah, and not broadcast this CCNA PT SSID. Notice this is a slight security enhancement. If someone has the appropriate tools, they're still going to be able to find our wireless network, but certainly this is a little step in the right direction when it comes to security, because the casual client is not going to see our SSID when they're looking at their client software looking to connect to something. Yeah, so for the non-educated, if you will, this is a huge security step. But for someone that's really savvy, they're going to know that we can stop the SSID broadcasting. All right, so we need to scroll down and we need to save these settings. Now, this gets a little uncomfortable because there's no confirmation of the save. So that's where I like to go ahead and close up this window and go back to my topology. And I want to make sure that come on, where is my topology? Why won't it maximize? What is going on here? Let's see. My gosh, where is my topology and why can't I get it back? Let me try. Wow, it looks like it has, those are recent windows that were opened. Okay, there we go. Clicked on the right little icon, and this is what I wanted to show you, of course. Look at that. The wireless connectivity is now broken. And that's actually perfect, isn't it? That's what we wanted to see. Yeah, we went in here and we changed the default settings, and these two devices were paired with those default settings, and now we have changed that. Excellent. And obviously it saved because we broke the connectivity like we wanted to. All right, well, this lab, very simple, has us now go in and set up that connectivity. And so we're going to go into the PC wireless settings once again of this system, and we're going to go over to the profiles area, and I am going to create a new profile. I'll name it CCNA PT. That's the name of the profile, and it's the name of our wireless network. Notice we don't see it, so we have to go to Advanced Setup because we stopped the broadcasting of the SSID, and we have to manually give the SSID. So I say CCNA PT for the wireless network name, and then we say next. DHCP is fine, so we say next. And notice we are not doing anything in this lab with wireless security. Sure enough, that lab is going to come later on. So we're going to leave security as disabled. We're going to say next, and we're going to save this profile and return to the profile screen. If we did this correctly, we should be able to connect to this CCNA PT network, and I'm going to close up this window to confirm that we have connected again. So we made basic wireless configuration changes here following the step-by-step instructions for this chapter, and I am ready to check my results and look at that. I love it when I get 100% on a lab that I wrote. Yeah, thank goodness I was able to get 100% on this one. Yeah, and we can see the assessment items, of course, that were checked for. So great job. It's so nice here in Chapter 8 that we got a little bit of a break. We got a very simple lab here for Chapter 8, but of course there's very, very difficult labs coming up that we will be reviewing. Thanks so much for joining me, and I hope you are enjoying your journey through the Packet Tracer for CCNA text. Thanks again.